Hi, this is the second part of the video on how to update the Toowong Baptist webpage. Okay, let's just open up our browser, and we are in the post section of the website. The post that I want to create is for the Chinese sermon, so I'm going to go to the post for Chinese by pressing the Chinese link on the post. And you can see this is a table of posts that's been created earlier. We want to create a new post. Select new up at the top and press post. So now we're in the post edit page. The thing about a post edit page is that it has the title and the text of the page. For the title, we'll go to the PowerPoint of the original sermon, and we'll just select the text from the PowerPoint, and we'll go to the title of the new post and paste in that text. For the actual contents of the page, because it's going to be a podcast, there's no sermon notes, we simply paste the text from the title. Now, because this post is in Chinese, we need to look across to the sub-window, language sub-window on the right-hand side. Notice that post in the Toowong Baptist Church website defaults to English as its language. So we need that to adjust that to Chinese. And notice that the categories change. It's being displayed in English. We now see the category in Chinese. So the other thing we need to do is to take the relevant categories. In this case, the podcast and sermon. Now, as far as the textual content of the page is concerned, that's all we need to do. Because it's a podcast, we'll need to upload the audio file associated with the sermon. Now note that earlier I've actually gone in and opened a program called Audacity. So what Audacity does is allow me to edit the recording of that Sunday service. What I've done is actually remove the worship section and the end section of the service, and only leaving the reading and an actual sermon part of the audio file. Now, I won't show you this, but I can probably do this separately in different video. So how then do we actually get the audio file to the website? What we need is what is called an FTP client, or file transfer protocol client. In our case, we use something called FileZilla. I already had a FileZilla window open earlier, and we need to then connect to, using a site manager, to connect to ToowongBC website. So we now connect to ToowongBC website. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to go to the on the left side of the window here is the local directories on my PC. So if you go to the Toowong folder, and I scroll down, I have a sermon folder. So the file we want to transfer is for the 2nd of September 2012. We're only going to choose the sermon only MP3 file, the audio file. The other file is actually through the full service. On the right hand side of Windows, we have the title called Remote Site. That shows the directories that is on the website, the Toowong Baptist Church website. and what we need to transfer across is under www, podcasts, and Cantonese. So that's folder. So you can see previously sermons that have been uploaded. So when we want to upload is that the 2012 to 2012 0902. So we drag the file on the right hand side, from the left hand to the right hand side. Here you are. You see the upload of the sermon only part of the service recording. Because the bit rate of the sermon has been reduced, the file size is significantly smaller than the entire service. So take note when you're transferring the actual directory relative to the top level directory of www, where the podcast is going to go. In this case is /www, or some people like to say /www/podcast/Cantonese, and the file name 2012-0902 _ sermon only.mp3. Now this is important because when we then go to the new post page that we had earlier, we need to scroll down to the podcast episode page section of the post page. Here we put /www/ podcast /Cantonese /2012-0902 sermon only.mp3. So now, after putting that text in, we need to press the verify button to ensure that we have entered the address of the podcast upload correctly. So there's going to be some issues with the directory we've chosen. So I'll just save the draft at the moment, and we'll go to a previous page to see what directory we actually use to actually upload an audio file. We'll go back to the post page and Chinese. We'll look at the one that was published, in which case that was the one suffering. Press Edit button, and we'll go down to the podcast episode and take the modify existing podcast episode. So notice that the URL, what we require is actually the URL. So we just basically copy the first part of the path. We'll go back to the table of posts. We'll go back to the draft, or what we were editing. We'll go down to the podcast episode section. Click the modify existing podcast and paste in what we copy from the previously published podcast page. So again, we'll press verify, just to make sure we have got the right place. It seems to complain about the bit rate being a bit lower than it expected, but it should be okay. Alright, now that's we have the audio file uploaded. We have used the podcast episode section of the post page to link the audio file with the podcast page. We're ready to publish. But before I do, there's a preview button in the publish section of the web page. Just look at the review. Notice that there is very little text in the page. The majority of the podcast page are fixed or determined by what category you should choose. And we can press the play new window to listen to the podcast or download it, just as any other podcast page. So now that we're happy with the preview, we can go back to add a post and hit the publish button. Okay. So press the publish button. So now the page should be visible. So we'll go to the web page directly, and we will select podcast, and we'll see the new post from today has been published on the website, and we can go into that post and listen to the podcast or download the podcast, just like the other podcast posts. So that's the end of the presentation of how to maintain the Toowong Baptist Church website. I hope you found this useful. Thank you.